Hey guys, Jared with ChiliheadMystery.guru here, and today we're going to take a stroll down UFO Lane. And what I mean by UFO Lane is I've gone ahead and spawned all the UFOs that I can find in the game files ahead up here, and we're going to get up close and personal with all of them, starting with the one that we have right here. Let's get right into it here. This particular UFO is found at the top of the hippie camp. And it is also called in the files during Michael's trip. But the first thing you should know about this UFO is called DT1_TC UFO Core in the game files. And as we get closer to it, you'll notice it doesn't have any collisions. We just kind of clip right through it without any mods because I don't think it's really programmed for us to have collisions, or the collisions are called to it during the where it's actually spawned in the game originally. We just kind of dropped it in with the trainer here, and we'll go ahead and take a drive around it here, and you can just tell it's just a normal UFO from the hippie camp. We just kind of clipped through it. Not really sure we're ever meant to drive that particular UFO. It doesn't seem like it, as you can see, it doesn't really look like it was really meant for it all. It has lots of animations, and the lights flicker, but that's about it. Nothing too special with this one. Doesn't really do much. The next one that we're going to look at is actually, first you're going to see the fuzz that covers the Ft.z UFO. And then behind that, obviously, you'll see the Ft.z UFO. Right here, this little fuzz right here, is what takes the place of the Ft.z UFO when it's not spawned originally in the game yet. After pre-100%, this is what you see. This is what's in the way. And this is kind of what you see before it appears solid. It also makes that god-awful audio noise that we're not really sure what it is. In between that, you see the floating FIB pieces here. The reason that is, we have the Chiliad UFO spawned right there. Now, this should really, one thing I should take into mind here is how easy it is to spawn these things in the game and fake discoveries on the UFO. I mean, not even a few weeks ago, someone took someone else's mod, claimed it as an Omega discovery, and claimed it as their own by just like recording it through their phone, so making it look like it was done on a console, or it was just, it was just discovered that Omega was dead in the desert. The UFO came, grabbed him, and flew off. Now, it won't be that hard to attach some scripts to these models and make these mods. I mean, people do it every day. There's not much holding people back from doing it just to get YouTube clicks. It's just the way it goes. It's just, the ecosystem of GTA Chilihead Mystery. But same thing with this one. So we're here. We're at the FIB spots. Now, these are usually tucked underneath the view platform on top of Mount Chiliad. So the reason they're there is it's actually an animation bone. Both these are animation bones for the Chiliad UFO. I'm not really sure why they're animation bones, but my best guess is that they have to be, it makes it one model basically. The boundary box is from here to the UFO. And if you want a better look in Code Walker, because Code Walker could really show you the boundary box that I'm talking about. And I feel like as our player travels through the boundary box, it uses this FIB model to calculate the distance between here and the UFO as you start to head toward it. Because as we start to head toward it, it acts just like it would at the top of the mountain. It disappears. So, and there's a light that normally appears, and there's nothing there. This time, the light stayed on. It's kind of impressive, actually. The light never really stays on. Probably just a little glitch because we modded it in. But we have the Ft.z UFO next here. The Ft.z UFO, again, we don't have any collisions on this one. It just is there. The Ft.z UFO is at the top of the bunker. It has lights that appear underneath it at 3 a.m. That I would assume are the opposite end of what these lights flickering would be, because what we're seeing flicking off the ground here is actually emitted from the UFO itself. So they were just seeing those reflected backwards. Another thing I did, let's see if I can get them to spawn real quick, is you can spawn the lights that circle around it. And I did that already, and they should show up. I'll see if we can easily find them or not. So we'll start at 1. We're looking for the lights in the ground. I don't know if they actually... Let's see them. That's alright. Well, you can spawn those in easily. They're called... let's see here. The Ft.z UFO is called DT1_TC_D UFO core _core. Now, the thing that comes to mind here when I see D UFO, obviously, is drivable UFO. Maybe this is the UFO that we're technically supposed to take control of, and we just haven't figured it out. Maybe this is our prize, and at the end we'll be able to drive this UFO. I mean, wouldn't that be awesome, just to be able to load up inside of this thing and go nuts. There's a lot to this UFO. It's definitely modeled off the U-2 bomber, stealth bomber, because stealth bombers share these same type of patterns on the bottom, and you can tell that they modeled this UFO around little basic guidelines, and it has a repeating texture around it of these radars. And usually what these are, I believe what these are for, is some kind of radar detection or stealth or something. I'm not 100% positive, you know, but it would have to be, it seems that it shares the same type of design on the U-2 stealth bomber, and I believe it's found on the new F-35 Lightning also. But the thing that's interesting about that is it says segregate and rearrange on the texture. Let's go to the most popular spot, but right here is the easiest to see it. See segregate and rearrange, and whatever this is, everyone should know if you've been part of the Chiliad mystery. Segregate and rearrange. The word segregate and the word rearrange are your key components here. Most people think it's saying segregate, the word segregate, and rearrange it. It comes out to Easter egg. Makes sense. But I mean, really, this is what's so Easter eggy about it. A UFO hovers above. I guess it's cool. I mean, it'd be better if we could drive said UFO, but we can't. So it's kind of boring, if you ask me. It's like, like a fancy anagram that still really, it just teases us. It doesn't give us any closure. But if you were to take segregate and rearrange, and actually segregate all the letters and rearrange all the letters, you get a lot more interesting results. But those are always fed with criticism, because I guess you could really make up any amount of words from that amount of letters and apply it to the mystery. But it yields some interesting results. You should look into it if you have time. Maybe one day we'll be able to make a video on it. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys while I'm here, because a lot of people have always wanted to see it, and while I'm here, I may as well show it in our video, is the pilots of the Ft.z UFO. They are right here. And they're very low poly, never meant to be seen, obviously. And slow here. And they have the same texture of segregate and rearrange with the radars stripped across them, because it's just a repeating texture that we see throughout the UFO model, and once it's applied, it applies to the entire model, and it just kind of repeats over itself. The cockpit does share some odd, alien-like what would be displays, but again, they're never really meant to be seen. I mean, look at their butts. Their legs are cut off through the bottom. Nothing. I mean, nothing was ever meant to be seen in here. It's very obvious. They got weird claw-like hands, which is kind of weird. I never really noticed that, but it's probably just because they're not finished. You know, they're not meant to be seen. They're wearing collared shirts of some kind. Again, I just don't think they were ever meant to be seen. And the fact that we got no clip and stuff like this that allows us in to see helps, but it just fuels the speculation around the actual UFO. So we're going to move on to the next one here. And there's only one really remaining UFO, and that's the one that was just recently added in the import update. The import update itself was released a few months ago, and the first thing that was found was a new UFO. Now things are a little different with this UFO than the previous UFOs. First thing you're going to notice is it does have collisions. You know, we can crash into it. We can blow rockets up at it. We can do a lot with it. It has real collisions. We're going to go ahead and get on top of this thing. But you can see it doesn't react to us being here. It doesn't open like the rest of them do. We can go inside with no clip. And this portion here doesn't really have any interior. But we know there's an interior that exists for this. Oh, the tree stuck through. Oh, the bottom there. But there's an interior that does exist for this particular UFO because it's the same UFO that's used at the hippie camp and in Michael's, and is called in Michael's thing, except they gave it a different file name because it was added during the import update. And it doesn't have the FIB logos that are shared with the other ones. It just is a plain Jane UFO. But here's the kicker. It's not found in the game files. There's YMAP files that give us the coordinates of pretty much all of the objects and where they're called in the game. This particular model does not have any. It's not found in the game. It never was found in the game. And wow, that's interesting. It just started snowing, and wow, I just found where I am in my weather XML. A long time ago, I changed it to start snowing in my weather XML just once randomly, and it just started snowing in the middle of my video here. That's pretty cool. So I just found where I'm at in my weather XML. That's kind of a plus. That helps with things. But back to the UFO here. We have eggs on top. Of course, they put eggs on top because there's a giant egg that's missing, and there's an egg that's cracked on the mural. But this particular UFO is called, I may have already said it, IMP underscore prop underscore ship underscore 01A. And it has collisions. It has everything here. Maybe this is going to be our flyable UFO, but we're not able to fly it yet because it's just not implemented yet. Maybe there's a DLC coming and it's probably going to be online. I hate to say it, but most likely it's going to be either probably seen from a distance would be my guess, and or we're going to possibly, one theory that came up a long time ago was that we're possibly going to shoot this one down in online, and it's going to land in the ocean, because that will give us if you know that the online portion of GTA 5 takes place before the storyline. So the UFO at one point would have to be shot down and land in the water, giving us what we have in storyline, what we originally found in storyline. It's a underwater UFO. If they gave us a mission online that would predate the storyline, where we shoot down a UFO and it lands in the water, that gives a little continuity people have thought about before. But for the most part, again, the import UFO that was just recently dropped in, again, no cords, cannot be found. We can call it with mods because it is a prop ship. The things that are different about it is it has collisions. All the other ones do not. The only other UFO that we're not going to show here currently is the underwater UFO because that's actually a piece of land. That'd be like trying to spawn the side of a mountain. We need to find the proper mod before we can do that. We tried a few, but we just couldn't get it done for the video. This wasn't happening. It was being very difficult. So we couldn't spawn that one. But that's about the only one left, and it looks just like the hippie camp UFO. It's rusted and it's sitting at the bottom of the sea. There's no use for it. You can clip through it. There's nothing inside of the underwater UFO. Nothing special happens. It's really just meant to be seen. These here are our UFOs. These three are our main UFOs. 1, 2, and oh, I gotta lower itself. See, once you're outside the animation box, so far from it, it takes the UFO away from you. So these are our two main ones. This being the hippie camp, this being Ft.z, and that being Mt. Chiliad. This is the import ship. As you can see, it's pretty much the same ship, just without the FIB logos, no flashing lights. Most likely we're supposed to drive past it in a race or something like that. It'd be cool if we shot it down, but I don't think that's going to be the case. The rest of them just don't have collisions. We can't do much with them. So until they actually implement some kind of codes to find this one, I don't think we're driving any UFOs anytime soon. Unless DUFO, which is the Ft.z UFO, stands for drivable UFO. But there's no proof of that. So until next time, guys, or if you got some information, go ahead and drop it in the comments. Subscribe. Let us know what you think here at the channel. If you got some requests on videos or requests on information, feel free to ask away. There's quite a few of us working behind the scenes here to get some information out to you guys that matters. So see you guys next time.